Hello, my students. This is an English session about CVs, and at the end of this lesson, you are going to understand what is a CV, how long should a CV be, what to include in a CV, and find out how to write a CV and discover useful tips to help make your CV stand out from the crowd. And this is teacher Manal Saleh explaining you this session. So let's start with the first step. What is a CV? A CV, which stands for curriculum vitae, is a document used when applying for jobs. So when we use CVs, we use CVs when we want to apply for a specific job. It allows you to summarize your education, skills, and experience, enabling you to successfully sell your abilities to potential employers. So, what is a CV about? It's a summarize about your education, skills, and experience. So you have to mention about these steps in your CV. So a CV is not a like a story. It must be related to special hints like education skills and experience. So you should be careful in what information you should include in your CV. In the USA and Canada, CVs are known as resumes. We can also say that CVs are resumes, and these documents tend to be more concise and follow no particular formatting rules. How long should a CV be? As a recent graduate, your CV may only take up one page, and that's okay. So, as a recent graduate, because you are a recent graduate student, so one page would be enough. Some medical or academic CVs may be longer depending on your experience. Now, some people have a lot of experience. If they have this experience, their CVs could be 2 pages. But as a recent graduate, one page would be enough. To save space, only include the main points of your education and experience. Okay, so you have to stress more on your education and experience and stick to relevant information and do not repeat what you have said in your cover letter that I have discussed in a previous lesson. Now let's see what to include in a CV. What what is the information that must be put in a CV? First, we start with the contact details. And what is this? It includes your full name, home address, mobile number, and email address. So if the company needs to contact you, we need your full name, the contact details, the home address, the mobile number, and the email address. You have to mention all these details. Unless you are applying for an acting or modeling job, you don't need to include your date of birth or a photograph. Those who work in acting and modeling need photographs and date of birth. If you are not applying for these jobs, you only need your full name, your home address, mobile number, and email address. After you mention the contact details, you need the profile. What is the profile? A CV profile is a concise statement that highlights your key attributes and helps you stand out from the crowd. In a CV profile, you need a statement that sheds the light on your important capabilities and helps you stand out from all the other applicants. Usually placed at the beginning of the CV, it picks out a few relevant achievements and skills while expressing your career aims. In this CV profile, you need a statement, okay, that shows your achievements and skills as well as the aim of your career. A good CV profile focuses on the sector you are applying to, as your cover letter will be job specific. Okay, so what you need in this profile, in this CV profile, is that you have to focus on the sector you are applying to, and you are to mention what job you are applying for. So you have to state this carefully in a statement at the beginning of your CV. Keep the personal statements short and snappy. Keep the statement short. Some people use 100 words as a perfect length. If not 100 words, you have to state this in a clear and in a short statement that states your job application. After profile, you need to tell about your education. List and date all previous education. Okay, you have to state all your previous education, including professional qualifications. Also, you can mention your qualifications, okay, in the previous, in your education. Place the most recent first, like that, university education, then go to high school education, etc. Include specific models only where relevant. Whatever helps you or related to the work or the job you're applying for, you can mention it in your education. Then you have the work experience, and this is completely important. List your work experience in reverse date order. Also, you start with the most recent to the old ones, making sure that anything you mention is relevant to the job you are applying for. In your work experience, what is beneficial to your job, the job you are applying for, you can mention it. So mention all the experience that related, okay, to the job you are applying for. If you have plenty of relevant work experience, this section should come before education. Some people have a lot of work experience, so in case of this, so you can mention work experience before education. For people who have a of work experience, they can mention experience before education. Okay. In case of no experience, so we mention education before. Depends on the applicant. Then, SCV also must contain skills and achievements. What do we mean by this? This is where you talk about the foreign languages you speak. Any foreign language you speak other than Arabic, let's say, French, English, Italian, Spanish, etc. You can mention the languages uh, in your CV. And the IT packages you can competently use. Also, if you have information technology, you can mention also it in your CV. The key skills that you list should be relevant to the job. Also, the IT packages, the information technology that you have must be related, and it's preferred to be related to the job you are applying for. Don't exaggerate your abilities. Yeah, tell about your abilities as it is. Do not exaggerate. Do not tell any lies about your abilities or capabilities or education marks or whatever. Be honest, okay? As you will need to back up your claims at interview. Later on, okay, they will call you for an interview and you will be asked about all the details. So be honest in um, stating the skills and achievements. Now also we have interests, uh, interests or any hobbies you might have. Socializing, going to the cinema and reading aren't going to catch a recruiter's attention. However, relevant interests can provide a more complete picture of who you are as well as giving you something to talk about an interview. Examples include writing your own blog if you want to be a journalist, or being part of a drama group if you are looking to get into sales. According to interests, my students, or your hobbies, if they are related to the job you are applying for, mention it. If these hobbies or interests are not related to your jobs or are not beneficial to your jobs, you don't have to mention it. Okay? If you say socializing or going to the cinema, this doesn't work. Okay? And doesn't make the attention of the employers there in the companies. Okay? Just mention interest if it expresses your personality in the job. Okay, so mention only interests or hobbies that are related to the job you are applying for. If no interests are found to be important, so you don't have to mention it. And we end with references. You don't need to provide the names of referees at this stage. You also don't need to say references available upon request, as most employers would assume this to be the case. Uh, in um, in some companies, most employers say that this is what's going to be done. So you don't have to write a name of referees unless you are asked to do. Okay. Uh, they admit that this will be the case. If they are going to call you, they will ask you about any references you have. So, my students, keep in mind that in writing a CV, you should tell details about your contact details, like that full name, home address, mobile number, and email address. You should have a profile, a CV profile, a statement that clarifies your job application in a good way. You must mention your education, the university education, and whatever education you have, starting with the most recent ones. You should stress on the work experience. And as I explained before, if you have a lot of experience, you state experience before education. In case you are a recent graduate, okay, you can tell about the experience that only related to your uh, job. Then you can mention the skills and achievements you have, any language you speak, okay, and if you speak it as well, good or fluently, you can mention the details of it, and if you, in case you have any information technology, uh, and in case of interests, also don't forget if these interests are related to your job, you can mention it. If not, you don't have to. And according to references, in some resumes and CVs, they write references available upon request, and this depends according to the company you are applying for, to the applicant. Uh, uh, as some companies don't want to write the references because when they have you on interviews, they will ask you about any reviews or references you have. So my students, please study the CV lesson carefully, please, as later I'm going to show you a format of a CV and a professional written CV and ask you to write a CV. So please try to understand that a CV uh, is an abbreviation for curriculum vitae. What is it? How long it should be? What information you need in a CV? And later on, we are going to write together a CV of your own. Thanks for listening and study the lesson carefully.